What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Let me do a few little things. Let's get this going. Aha. All right, I'm getting this. Doing something a little different. Alrighty. So let's kind of get into it. I know I'm going to have a lot of questions. So let's start at the beginning. One of the things that I realized when I started the Mac Daddy Autos was I had virtually no training on how to start a business that wasn't an offshoot of an online business. None whatsoever. And I'm going to address that problem. Essentially, what we're doing, during the live stream, you can get 50% off. It's $5,000, so 50% off is $2,500. This is the one and done. You can get it during the live stream only, and after the live stream goes away, you cannot get this promotional code. Now, why am I doing that? Because I want people to take action. This is for my action takers, because I've been really looking at some stuff, because essentially, let me go ahead and show you guys what we're getting ready to do. So let me go to B School for Hustlers. Wow. All right. So let's go ahead and get in there. All right, so we should be in there. What I did, I shut down B School for Hustlers for a while, because essentially what we're going to do is move everybody here. Like, if you bought the Art of Holding and you paid one and done, you will be moved over here and you will get this training. I'm just going to shut down becoming a corporate citizen. That didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. So I'm moving everyone over here. It's going to take us a week or two to get everyone moved over, but you will moved over. There will only be training in one spot. And this is the new thing. Because one of the things I realized is I was talking to my friend who's a doctor, and he didn't even know, because we got into some real deep business game, and I was just like, this is a really smart guy. He's a doctor. He went to medical school. He graduated. He passed his boards, and he didn't know this stuff. And one of the things we're going to do is get into deeper coaching calls. And for the folks who catch it after the live stream, because everyone can't catch these live streams, we've got a multitude of payment plans. But more importantly, how to get in the car rental business with one car. That will be part of this new B School for Hustlers corporate papers. How to create a sales process. This is where the money comes in. Designing a life of an intent and purpose. The art of branding your company. The strategic holding company. That's an older course that's part of this. Scripted days is part of it. The holding company game, how to play. Business credit boot camp, how to become mentally tough. We're going to talk about that. How to hire people for fun and profit. Management for fun and profit. So these 11 courses encompass everything you will need to do to start your business. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with the holding company game, how to play. And there's nothing there yet. I'm going to start adding content here tomorrow. And one of the things we're going to address, like this was a big issue. Big issue. I had so many people who had an existing LLC that wanted, and the link is below the stream to get into the holding company, the corporate papers, the link's below the stream. Use code corporate at checkout to get your 50% off. Let's see. Johnny Walden, thank you for the $20 super chat. All right. So I had so many people who had an LLC and they wanted to turn that into their holding company. And this is one of the things I was really pushing back on it. And we're going to have training on how to get around that, because here's the thing. Let's say you have a roofing company and you have a roofing company LLC and it's 6-7 years old and you want to turn that into your holding company. This is the problem with that. If you have done business with that LLC has done business with the public, let's say you did a roof 6 years ago, couple is they're sitting down having dinner and the roof caves in and they blame you. Guess who they get to sue? They get to sue your holding company, which was formerly an operating LLC. And this is why I consistently say don't do that, because if you take a business that already existed and you turn it into your holding company, anyone that has done business with that LLC, if something goes funky, they can sue that LLC and you don't get the protections, because this is the game for the holding company. A holding company is an entity that collects money and just manages the other companies, because essentially, if you never do business with anyone else, your holding company can never be sued. I want you to think about that. Let's say you have a holding company structure, right? And you got 5 operating companies, and one of your operating companies gets sued. All you could do is just move the money out to operating company, dissolve that operating company, start a new operating company, and keep on trucking. You know, they can only get what's in that company. They cannot go after you. They can't go after your holding company. And essentially, you could just bankrupt that company, take all the money out of it, and they get nothing. They get Nathan. But if your holding company was a former operating company, this can get a little dicey going forward. This can get really dicey. So one of the things that I want you guys to understand is we're going to do this properly, and we're not going to have daily classes. That was too much for too many people. So we're probably going to have a class on Saturday or Sunday. I haven't decided a day that everyone will be off. It may be at 3 or 4 o'clock. I haven't decided, and then we will have impromptu classes during the week, or we'll have classes at 7. But the classes are going to be at a time that everyone can attend. And also, we're going to get into more hands-on learning and training, because one of the things that we need, I discovered like I'm going to go through that whole process of how I started the car rental business. I've been doing that 11 weeks now. 11 weeks. We're about to enter into our 12th week or our third month. Now, this business has not made any profits and it hasn't made any excess capital because I've been paying for repairs. And essentially, I did some calculation. Do you know that $7,000 of these repairs were from people damaging cars? Almost $8,000 that if people had just drove the car like a normal human being, I wouldn't have had to pay money. So all these repairs haven't come from the cars breaking down. They've come from people doing dumb stuff. And one of the things that I want to say is a lot of you guys have been giving me recommendations. I appreciate it. But I want you guys to understand, I have looked at a lot of these folks and none of them are doing what I want to do. None of them. None of them. And there's a reason they're not doing what I'm doing. They don't have a vision. And this isn't to say they're bad people or anything, but I had a conversation with someone. Like, let me go ahead and kind of give you my grand plan, right? When I set out and mapped this out on paper, my plan was to have like 400, maybe 500 cars in 3 or 4 years, right? And the day I was talking to someone in the chat section and he said, doing it big, and like 100 cars is doing it big. And I didn't say nothing. I was just like, really? Because essentially, even before I even got to this point, I had set my goal at 400 or 500 cars because Hertz, I think they have like 40,000 cars. That's doing it big. But I thought that was interesting that 100 cars was doing it big. And to me, 100 cars in a little bit over a year, because my goal is to have 100 cars by next August. I've learned a lot in these last 11 weeks by not following the people. Like right now, let me tell you something that's happening with Hire Car. I have people waiting on me to get these BMWs back in. I've had people expressly talk to me. It's like, hey, when I got people email me every day. Literally, this happened. I had a BMW come back in 3 hours. It was gone. And once again, a lot of people are telling me now, we're gonna talk about a lot of this stuff in the course. But let's say I had my own insurance. I can tell you right now, if I had my own insurance, I could easily rent out 100 cars at $250 a week all day long. I could easily do that. Easily. Based on what I know. If I had my own insurance, I could do that all day long and they would stay gone. So this is going to be a very different car rental course. It is. Justin Walker, we're going to talk about that because we're going to talk about assets and stuff, because essentially I'm going to give you the holding company game and I'm going to give you the operating company game, because essentially, Justin Walker, that's your decision. I know that people are not used to having that kind of power, but that would be your decision. What's going on? Jaws, that's really interesting because I have one car that's being in the shop for, it has to have struts because the struts were worn out. And one of the things that I've done, I'll be talking about this, is I'm starting to tighten up on my intake process. Before I even buy a car, I'll call them up, make sure they have it, and then I will do a Carfax on it, because I've had a few cars that I believe the odometer has been turned back. And I'm just having, like last night, someone ran the car and he was driving and the ball joint broke. The car only has 120,000 miles on it. That's not, I forget when CV joints used to go, but that car doesn't have enough miles on it for something like that. Well, this car had 170,000. I think this car has close to 300,000 miles on it. honestly. So another thing that I've learned in these 11 weeks is I got to buy better cars because, many of you in the comments like the most you should spend is $4,000. Look, if I was spending $4,000 for cars, I would literally have a car in the shop every day. Every day. So one of the things, Omar, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Yeah, because essentially, one of the things I did, like I was having a conversation, he has 34 cars, I have 24 cars. And in 3 months, I will have 34, 35 cars. So in 6 months, my fleet will be equal to his. And a big part of that is I'm really scaling up really, really fast. And once again, like if I had my own insurance, and let me tell you why I'm trying to get so many cars. When you only have a few cars, commercial insurance is outrageously expensive. But when you have a fleet, you have a lot of cars, then the cost goes down. Nope, I'm not bringing back the men's channel. I don't have time for that. Hertz has over 500,000 cars in the U.S. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's doing it big. To me, that's doing it big. Yep. Well, it's kind of evolving that way. Let me tell you what happened. I actually, once again, I went on data. I didn't go with my feelings. My feelings was like, don't buy any more BMWs. Thursday, I bought another BMW, right? Very expensive car. It's like 20,000. Well, they wanted 20. I talked them down to 18. So they're starting to be flexible on the price. I bought it for Thursday. Thursday evening, I took it for the GPS. Friday, I picked it up with the GPS in it. Saturday, I rented it on hire car for 125 bucks a day. And I have the car on Turo for 135. It ain't budge. It ain't budge. Like I'm saying, now that I have the GPS kill switch in the Mercedes, I would be open to renting that on hire car because I could cut it off at any moment. So this is something else I discovered because you would see consistently in the comment section, put Tercels, put Hyundai Genesis, and I'm on to something here. Tomorrow I'm going to look at another Range Rover. And I already said, because the GPS, I'll do that story tomorrow. I forgot to do that today. I'll do the kill switch story tomorrow. But the kill switch is definitely a game changer. It is definitely a game changer. And essentially on all my nicer inventory, it's definitely going to have a kill switch. Now I've got three Camrys and three more. I got a lot of stuff. I have to look at it, but essentially all of my nicer inventory by the end of August is going to have a kill switch on it. And that is, essentially you could probably get around on Toro for two or three cars for several months without a kill switch. It's a different clientele over there. But with hire car, since you're dealing with an economically fragile population, yeah, you need those kill switches. You definitely. I got another BMW. All right. Oh, I mean, if I had my own insurance, I could easily rent every car I have for 1,000 or 1,500 a month. No problem. No problem. Off hire car. off a Turo, not a problem. What's up, Rugged Collars? I know 4,000. I mean, it will get you problems. My fleet is constituted, is composed of 24 cars. Um, I got one of these cars from Massachusetts, so you never know. What's up? So, we're going to be getting into some real training. We're going to be getting into, uh, let me kind of, I really wanted to make a point because my car rental course is going to be very, very different because it's going to be grounded in reality. I need to check, but I'm going to be doing an affiliate marketing deal with HireCar, and I'm going to tell people the truth. Now, essentially, the beginning of the business is really, really rough, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons it's rough is I'm buying used cars, and most people don't take care of cars, and this is something else. Many of you have expressed in the comments that it's cheaper to maintain a Honda. Actually, it's not. I have an Acura that needs $2,000 worth of routine maintenance. That's right up there with the BMW. So it isn't that these cars are cheaper to maintain. These cars will run without being maintained. These people are not maintaining these cars. They're not doing, the dude's like, man, I told him I just bought the car, and he's like, none of the fluids have been changed. Nothing's been done in this car. He said in his estimation in years, nothing. They're not doing the maintenance. They're not keeping these cars up because, a Camry, a Honda, they can take the abuse. But these people are not maintaining these cars. So, it's a crapshoot. Could be. Could be. So we're going to get into also one of the things that I wanted to. I'm August, September. I'm about 2 months from my Wells Fargo secured credit card converting. I feel it's going August, September. I think it'll probably convert in October, and I'll be talking about that process. One of the things, and this is something that I didn't do because I really wasn't looking at credit. I did not go out and get business credit when I started this business. That's a mistake that I rectified with Mac Daddy Autos. Mac Daddy Autos, literally 3-4, I forget when I filed the LLC, but I got the business credit card for that business in June. So I probably filed the LLC in April. So literally 6 or 7 weeks after I filed the LLC, I started working on the business credit for that business. And this is really, really pivotal in terms of building real and true business credit, not vendor business credit, your net 30s and stuff, but real business credit. I never participated in Forex trading. I never did it. So we're going to get into a lot of training because essentially I don't know if I said this, I'm going to completely redo. Let me show y'all. Let me see. Oh, I know what I gotta do. All right. So this is what's going to happen. And I'm going to have my assistant do this. Everyone that's in the corporate toolbox is going to have all this stuff added to their login. It's going to take a few days. Don't be tripping. And everyone that's in the art of holding, we're going to move you over and add you into the family, so to speak, because essentially we're going to start here, the holding company, how to play the game, because a lot of people don't really understand holding companies. They really don't understand companies. They really, really don't. So we're going to get into more detailed explanation of the holding company game. I don't know. I don't know. I got another car last week. Justin Walker, my opinion, I have two of my companies. My holding company has business credit, and one of my operating companies have business credit. Now, why does one of my operating companies has business credit? Essentially, I am pulling out that Wells Fargo credit card for repairs, GPS kill switches. There's a lot of spend, and that Wells Fargo card is like my operating capital. So let's say I have no money in my Mac Daddy Auto checking account, but I have an expense. Bam, put it on the credit card, and as money comes in, pay off the credit card, because I think there's like 14,000 on the credit card. And next week, because I think I'm at, let's see, essentially I've got I've got four cars that are not rented right now. I got four cars. And I feel that once I get those four cars rented and I get everything rented, I'll be at 1,000 to 1,100, maybe 1,200 bucks per day. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. Once we get there. And one of the reasons that I'm probably going to purchase another car tomorrow is I want to roll into August with a lot of inventory. And we're going to be talking about how to set this up, because I know a lot of people have been talking about me listening to people, talking to people. Certain names keep coming up over and over and over and over again. And essentially, I have researched these people, and none of them are doing what I want to do. None of them. Like I said, I had a conversation with someone who thought 100 cars was big boy style. I didn't even think in my mind, when I conceived that I wanted to get to 100 cars, I didn't even consider that big. I consider 500 cars kind of small compared to Hertz. So I don't think unless you're Hertz or Enterprise, which is a privately owned company, you ain't really doing it big unless you got a few thousand cars, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right, Mel. So essentially, let me go ahead and kind of lay out the plan for you guys. I want to build this into a thriving enterprise because I got a 5-year plan. And in year 3, I should be at 400 cars. That's the goal, about 400 cars, which means 400 GPS kill switches, which means 400 oil changes, which means 400 annual services, which means 400. Essentially, I'm probably going to have a staff of 6 to 10 people when I get to that level, because there's going to be someone's job to monitor the payments. That's going to be a full-time job, to monitor the payments and to activate the GPS kill switches and to send out messages. That's going to be a full-time job. What's up? So we're going to get into a lot of changing. So just to let you know, once again, it's 50% off during the live stream only. And live stream, I'm probably going to send something to the Hustlers Kung Fu group and some people on the B School. I will probably send out some of that, and then we will just get to the live streams. Because here's the thing. We got to become more action oriented. And I want people to be hustling because, all right, here's the deal. You're looking at a 2 to 3 year journey. And let's kind of go back here. So let's talk about this. How to get in the car rental business with one car. I'm gonna actually take you from one car to building a fleet. There's a way you can do it. It's gonna take you some time, and one of the things is I'm probably going to put a money management course in this. I don't know, but we will see. We will see, because essentially how to create a sales process, design the life of a purpose intent, the art of branding your company, the strategic holding company. That's pretty comprehensive. Scripted days is a productivity course, because we need to be hustling. And essentially what I have learned, yes, Xavier Johnson, we'll be talking about how to start an LLC and a lot more. With 400 cars, Cleveland, like the vision I have is when I get to 400 cars, I'm going to have my own auto repair shop. I'm going to have my own GPS person. I'm going to have my own auto repair shop. I will be able to do oil changes, change out tires, and this. I will have my own little, because at that level, because I'm going to tell you something that you wouldn't think about. Like, I need to order an air compressor off Amazon, because the number of tires that, like, when your air in your tires low and you get this little flashing signal in your dashboard, that comes up a lot. So yes, I would definitely have my own technicians to do oil changes, to do windshield wipers, handle a lot of the smaller stuff, and maybe the bigger stuff would be outsourced to, like, specialized mechanic. But I'm going to have someone to be able to do my own tune-ups and all this other stuff. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Financial Hawks. Appreciate it. Hasn't been all smooth. Started maybe 2K at first, did 35K last month. As you always preach, service business, stay consistent and have patience. There you go. Congratulations, Mel. Yeah, because essentially, right now, there's several different stages. And during this stage, I'm in the intake stage. I'm buying cars, I'm learning a lot of stuff. But when I get to maybe 150, 200 cars, my goal, because at this point, because let's say 150, 200 cars, I'll be 2 years in, and I'll have my dealer's license by then, because what I'm gonna start doing is selling some of these cars and replacing them. So I'm gonna have my own repair shop, I'm gonna have my own lot and all this other stuff, and that's coming in the future. Nope. Everyone that's in the art of holding is going to be moved over to the corporate papers. I don't think I rented to any hookers that I know of. None of them had that look. I don't know. I don't know what people do in their private lives. But we're going to be getting into a lot of, essentially, because, as we go through stages, because, once I get to 100 cars, the revenue should be 6 figures minus expenses. And, and I should have my own commercial insurance. And like, I'm here to tell you guys, if I could run Craigslist ads saying, hey, are you an Uber driver or do you need a car? I will rent a car to you for $250 a week, insurance included. You know how many people would jump on that? Dude, I would run out of cars so quick. So let's go ahead and do the math on that. Let's see. I gotta use the calculator on the computer because I did not. So let's say 250 a week times 100. It's 25,000 times 52. 1.3 million. 1.3 million a year off 100 cars at 250 a week. And like 250, I wouldn't even have to do BMWs. I can do Corollas, whatever. That would win. That would win so big. I can buy a car for like 6,000, 7,000, put it up there for 250, include insurance. That would work all day long. Rod sharing 101, I've never thought about that. I've never thought about expanding outside of Atlanta. We don't know what the future holds, because if you had asked me this time last year, would I be doing renting cars? I would like, I have no, I don't know. Right now, for everyone who's just coming in, if you want the corporate papers and you want a 50% discount, you have to buy it during the live stream. Once the live stream is over, that discount goes away. I might let it hang out for an hour. Oh yeah, I'm including insurance because that's really a really interesting thing. The corporate papers is going to be, it's going to include the art of holding, but it's going to be just a different name, same content. So yeah. G models and strippers love. You know, now that you say that, I only see women in those cars. I never see a dude driving those cars. That's cool. What's up? Oh yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about because, like, no disrespect to anyone who has a significant rental car business using Turo or hire car, but I've only been doing this 11 weeks, and I already have enough data that told me that if I had my own commercial insurance, I could literally rent out buckets for $1,000 a month if I included insurance. I can spend, like, let me give you the math on that. Let me give you the math on that. So I spend $6,500 for a car. Because once again, this car model is going to appeal to a different demographic. Won't be like the Mercedes and the BMWs and the Range Rovers. So I spend 6,500. So they come in, they spend 250 times 4. It's $1,000 a month, right? So I say, all right, you rent the car from me for 1 year. All right. So that's going to be times 12. It's going to be 12,000 bucks. All right. Then the next year minus 6,500. So I made a $5,500 profit off the rental. Then the next year I sell them the car for 600 bucks a month. No, let's say 500. 500 a month for 2 years. No, God told me, let's say 350. 350 times 24. 8,400 plus 5,500. So I made almost $14,000 off a $6,500 spend. And also, while they're renting the car, the maintenance and stuff, that's on me. But once they buy it, they gotta do the maintenance, they got to do the insurance, they got to do all that. So it shifts to them. Sure thing. Oh yeah, I mean, I can run simple Craigslist ads or Facebook ads saying like, "Hey, you need a car, you give me 250 a week, and and this includes insurance." Bruh, bruh. One of the commercial insurance plans I was looking at was saying $100 a car. So I can make that work. Jacob, now see, I got to go downtown and I got to sit before a judge and swear out an arrest warrant for him. So I'll do that next week. Thanks for the $10 super chat, Jacob. No, the corporate papers include everything. It includes all of this. The corporate papers is not is a collection of courses. So you get all of this. I've been in business for just 2 short years. Everything you've been speaking above is straight facts. It's refreshing to hear someone speaks the truth. Yeah, because a lot of these YouTubers, the link is under this live stream. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Yep, the link to the corporate papers is under the live stream. So there you go. That's funny, Jaws. Uh, Once I get to 100 cars, I'm going to look at my options because once I get my own building and location, I can rent out U-Hauls if I wanted to. So we will see. Thank you, Diana. Um, no, there isn't a bundle for everything because let me tell you why there isn't a bundle for that. When I started Mac Daddy Autos, there's a lot of stuff that I actually forgot about starting a business that will be in the corporate papers because, you know, honestly, I forgot what it was like to deal with the public. Um, so it's going to be this collection of courses is going to be much better and much tighter than anything else I've ever put out before. So this is going to be the juice. Well, we will see because, like I said, I've only been doing this 11 weeks. Next week starts my 12th week, and we will see because I think I'm doing like 800 ducks a day, which is 2,400, 24,000 a month. And I want to get to like 1,000 or 1,200. I think with the vehicle that I'm going to purchase tomorrow, if it's still there, I think it's going to help me get there. We will see. Here's one thing. I'm running some experiments with Toro for that right now. Essentially, let's say the new BMW, right? Right now, I am saying that I'll come pick you up at the airport if you do a 5-day rental. Because one thing with Toro, I don't want a whole bunch of 2-day rentals. I don't, like I will stick to hire car if it's just going to matriculate to a bunch of 2-day rentals because the thing is, you got to wash that car. You gotta, I mean, it's a lot more work when you have high turnover where people are just renting for 2 days and they're in and out, in and out. Because essentially, you have to get it washed, which I've actually get a little discount on that because of my volume, but it's still a cost. Essentially, I would rather rent out a car for a week or two or three or four than to do a bunch of short-term rentals. So we will see. Well, it just depends. It just depends because essentially, um, I have actually thought about renting out buses and limousines, and there's all kinds of ideals. But once again, we've got to build the business, we got to build the foundation, and then we're going to add more. So that's another thing because one of the things that we will see is what the future holds. Because, like I said, I'm working on a plan, and essentially, I bought a car to replace the Porsche. There was some money left over because that car wasn't as expensive as the Porsche. And then I used part of the Porsche money to buy this other vehicle Thursday. And then I put another 14K with it. So I'm probably going to buy another car. And I'll give you guys my final numbers because my goal is, and I want to tell you why I want to get to 1,000 to 1,200 bucks a day. That will dramatically help me offset repair costs because essentially, because I have all these old cars and they haven't been serviced, they need this, they need that. So if I have $1,000 repair, boom, I make it back in the day. And once I get to like say 1,200, let's see what 1,200 is per month. Let's say I do 1,200, right? 30. It's 36,000 a month. All right. I don't know if I have enough, inventory. I got to run the numbers, but at that level, at $1,200 per day, let's see, 1,200 times 7. It's 8,400 bucks. So it would literally take me 12 days to pay off my credit card the way it is right now. And, we will see. The corporate papers, you can't get the corporate toolbox, corporate papers. Steve Jameson, that's funny. We will see. Not getting into motorcycles because most folks can't ride them. So, um, you know, end of the month, let's see. We're still in our 11th week. We'll be moving toward our 12th week. Actually, next week. Yeah, next week. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. So if I can move up to $1,000 a day, right? I will be able to pay off my current credit card bill this month, which opens up August to all kinds of possibilities. So we will see. We will see. But once again, if you want the corporate papers, the link is below and you can get 50% off. I'm probably going to leave the 50% off code probably an hour after the live stream, and then I'm going to kill it. So, there's so many possibilities, but once again, and this is something else that you guys will get to see in the corporate papers. I am going to start. It's raining. I'm going to start another business once I get a handle on this car business. So you're going to sit me start multiple businesses, and I'm going to well, essentially, I may have to do a part two to this because essentially the law is very, very specific. If you know the law, I mean, give you an example. Right now in Georgia, if you go ahead and establish your business in an empowerment zone and you hire 3 or 4 people, you get tax breaks for those people. So that's less taxes. There's all kinds of things you can do. And the 50% code is scrolling across the screen. Use code corporate to get 50% off. Well, here's the vision. I will have someone to wash cars. I will have someone to fix cars. I will have someone to install a GPS kill switches because that's going to be a big part because like I open up a buy here, pay here. I'm going to have that ability. Even though there are multiple videos on YouTube talking about how to take out the kill switches, which is crazy, but this is people. But one of the things we're going to do, and like I said, I'll probably be doing some more live streams this week, talking about this. But essentially, once you know the law, and I'll be talking about my business credit journey. I'll be talking about how to establish like Wells Fargo. If you saw the video, Wells Fargo actually killed their personal lines of credit, but they left their business lines of credit intact. That's very interesting. Yep, we're still going to do the credit business. Just give me a little time to get that. I got my assistant up to speed. But yep, going to do the credit business, and I'm going to announce that on Savage Finance. Because essentially, honestly, the car rental business, I had no clue to what I was getting into. Because, like last night, I was hanging out with my girl, and I get this call that the ball joint on that car broke. And this is one of the things, like anyone that I hire, they're going to have to work weekends. And essentially, we're going to say, you got the phone this weekend. Anything that happens, you answer it, you respond, you deal with it, then you turn the phone in. Let's see. B School for Hustlers. Hold on. Let me see something. Now it works. Just refresh your screen. It works. Just refresh your screen. I just put it in there. You got to spell it correctly. Let me see if it'll let me back out. Okay. Let me go to Jimmy Jones at gmail.com. All right. COR. Put corporate in. Boom. It works. It works. So well, this is one of the things I'm going to do with credit education. You could put whatever you want on Hire Car, man. It's corporate by itself. Let me just change that. Let me. Just use the word corporate. It's not code by corporate. That's complicated. Yeah, so we're going to be doing credit repair. We're going to be doing a lot of other stuff. Um, we're going to be getting into a lot of training because, like, what I've come to understand with starting this, and I'll probably do some more live streams this week, is that when you understand the law, like I was just having this conversation with my friend who's a doctor, and he didn't know this stuff. He didn't know this stuff. The average person doesn't know this stuff. And we're going to roll out a different level of format and a different, just a different thing. Yeah, you can't get 50% off the payment plans. Come on, man. Yeah, I thought about putting cameras in it, but that becomes like these GPS kill switches between the GPS kill switch and the installation. It's like $550. So to put in a camera, we will be getting kind of funky with it. I'm not. I'm not trying to bring on investors right now because right now there's already. All right. Thanks, Con. So we will be getting into a lot more stuff that's going to happen because I'm going to be sending out a lot of emails. Now, typically, what my plan is, I don't know how it's going to work, is to start to create the training in the morning. And then, because essentially, like, look, I got to pick up a car that just had a GP kill switch installed that we'll have it installed tomorrow. I got to rent that car out. And then I got to go buy a car. Then I got to talk to my assistant. Then I got to take a car for an oil change. Then I got to take a car to the mechanic. And that's just the morning. Because my goal is to get this car first thing in the morning. And then when I go pick up the BMW, drop it off for the kill switch. That's kind of the plan. That's kind of the plan. But once again, an hour after this, you can still use the 50% off coupon. And I will get rid of that after an hour. So you have an hour after the live stream. But one of the things, well, actually, I'm probably going to keep it just to the live streams. So we will see. We will see. But we got a lot of training coming, a lot of stuff that's going on. And yeah, a whole bunch of training. A whole bunch of training. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. I will see you in the next one.